A building supplier goes bust and 400 jobs gone. Let's have a look. Good afternoon, everyone. Florian Heise here, and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. I've got my afternoon stein of coffee, and I thought we would have a look at this article that's just appeared on the ABC News about SWC managements and how they've gone bust. And sadly, 400 people have lost their jobs right before Christmas. This is pretty sad news, but if we look at, well, some of the recent data coming out with housing approvals and dwelling unit approvals heading down, it's not too surprising, and it kind of aligns with all the things I've been hearing in the news and just talking to other people, even though we keep getting told there is this huge boom in property values. If we're seeing stuff like this, if all the data I'm showing you, GDP growth is falling down, wage growth is non-existent, what's going to sustain this property bubble? But nonetheless, let's jump in and have a look. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you know anyone who's been affected by this. Because particularly for the blokes out there, if you have a friend, a mate who's going through it, reach out to them now. Tell them it'll be better in the end. It always comes better in the long term. I know it sounds like BS, but for anyone who's been through tough times, you can relate to that. And it can be pretty hard right before Christmas. So, 400 people have lost their jobs a week out from Christmas after a group of building supply businesses in Melbourne's West went bust. SWC Management Group, which operates out of a massive, newly redeveloped warehouse in Melbourne's western suburbs, announced it was going into voluntary administration on Tuesday, with advisory firm Corda Mentha taking over operations. So let's just jump over here, and I have the insolvency notices, all the search data from ASIC, and you can find that here. You can do the search. Probably worth doing, guys. Probably worth doing. So let me just have a shot of coffee. And let's have a look here. So what do we have? This is the combined notice of appointment and first meeting of creditors of company under administration. And here's the company, SWC Management Proprietary Limited, and all the other ones. The Edge Glass Australian, Baron Forge Equipment, Essential Stones, GFA Enterprises, a name I can't pronounce, Paz Stone Proprietary Limited. So you've got a range of material suppliers, and this is the location. They're having it at Corda Mentha Rialto South Tower, level 31 in Collins Street, Melbourne. The purpose of the meeting is to consider whether to appoint a committee of inspection, and if so, who are to be the committee's members. At the meeting, creditors may also be, by resolution, remove the administrators from office and appoint someone else as administrators of the company. So it's on the 30th of December. Oh, wow. Date of notice. Okay, you need to submit your information to the administrator by the 30th of December if you want to go into it. What's the date of the meeting? Do they say that here? On the 31st. So 11 a.m. Brisbane, Sydney time, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. There you go, guys. There you go. Let me know if any of you have been affected by this. You'd hate to be an unsecured creditor to this builder, or you'd hate to even be a builder that has already paid a deposit for materials and they haven't arrived. The group manages a number of subsidiaries that supply and install stone, tile, and glass. Well, what does that tell you, guys? What does that tell you? What project use stone, tile, and glass? A lot of domestic ones. The most prolific business, Baron Forge, has installed marble and granite projects at Melbourne's Crown Casino, Monument Park, the Royal Children's Hospital, and several other well-known CBD high-rise buildings. Most of SWC's employees were stonemasons and project managers, and more than half were based at its headquarters in the Melbourne suburb of Brooklyn. But it also employed workers in Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. Oh, bugger. The company turned over $120 million last financial year, but the ABC understands that no cash was left in the business and it would have been unable to continue paying its staff. It is understood the projects the company took on board had small financial margins, which forced the company to operate while withstanding significant losses. See, this is the problem, guys. This is the problem. If businesses are just running too close to the bone, you've got to cut, and to the point where it becomes unviable and they go under. Job losses come as a real shock to workers. The incoming administrators added that the business was also suffering from dwindling sales. KordaMentha's Craig Shepard said SWC had tried to improve sales and revenue, but its plans were not working. The Christmas timing's awful. It was a real shock, he said. Staff didn't expect it. Management's been pursuing a turnaround plan. They've been making some really good inroads and achievements dealing with some legacy contracts, which were unprofitable. But really, it's just run out of steam. Mr. Shepard said the lack of cash meant administrators were left with no choice but to terminate all the staff immediately. So there you go, 400 jobs gone, 400 people who have lost their position. And it, a sign of the market, guys, a clear sign of the market, a clear sign of construction. I'll just bring this up again. Building approvals have tanked. Guys, look at that trend. Look at that trend. And foreign investment in property has also tanked. I think these two things may be correlated a little bit. Maybe I'm just biased because I'm remembering back to meetings talking with clients going, are you going to get funding for this development? I said, yeah, no, it's all Chinese money, every cent of it. So guys, he added, if nobody could be found to take over the business soon, the closure could have flow-on effects to the business's customers, including major construction projects in Melbourne's CBD. Obviously, this week is the week that the building industry finishes up on Friday. But when they come back in the new year, hopefully, we've got a solution for them, he said. The group's creditors will meet on December 31 to determine whether the company will go into liquidation. So there you have it, 400 jobs gone. 400 jobs gone. It's sad, right before Christmas. Right before Christmas. SWC management employs workers. Look at the key points again. In Sydney, Brisbane, Perth and Adelaide. The administrator said the job losses had come as a real shock for workers. There are hopes someone may buy and restart the business group. Buy and restart the business group. Let's jump back to the liquidation notices and we'll look at the other one here. This is, what is this one? Combined notices of appointment and first meetings of creditor of the company under administration. They release a few of these ones, don't they? This was published on the 17th of the 12th, and this was published on the 17th of the 12th. Are these the same things? Oh no, this is... Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Oh, do they have to publish one for each proprietary limited company? So you can see here all the different entities that are part of this business. So guys, I mean, this is sad news. It is not surprising when I look at just, our GDP is falling, when I look at arrears rates and just consumer confidence. But also, guys, remember that business confidence is down. And they're talking up. Because this is part of our manufacturing sector here in Australia, guys. This is part of manufacturing. Hang on, press escape, something's going funny. This is part of the manufacturing sector that is just shrinking and shrinking and shrinking because we've invested so much of the growth of our civilization into the housing sector. And now the businesses that have been supporting this sector, well, they're starting to feel the pinch here that we've seen. We're starting to see the decline in jobs and business confidence materialize in some of these businesses. So what does this say for the rest of the economy, guys? What is it going to say for the rest of the projects? Are we going to have a series of projects that are not going to be finished in Melbourne? What will happen? Or will they start specifying alternatives? Will they sub things out? Do you know anyone that's been affected by this, guys? Please share in the comments. Let us know what's going on, how the people are prepared. And I mean, just before Christmas, it is a terrible Christmas present. A terrible Christmas present. And you'd hope that some people would be aware, but I guess if you're working in there, you may not have a thorough understanding of what's happening in the overall the business. But then again, you might get a sense if stuff is going slow, you're having less orders going through, you're doing less cutting in the day. But it just all depends, guys. So hopefully they'll be able to pick up jobs somewhere else. But we'll have to see where it all goes. So guys, thank you for watching this episode of Heise Says. If you like the channel and want to help us produce more, please like, share, and subscribe. We also have a Patreon where you can make a small monthly donation and help support us. All of that goes to fund our equipment purchase and things like that. We have affiliate links with Amazon and eBay where we receive a small commission if you make a purchase. Doesn't cost you a cent extra. Really, it's money from Amazon. They pay us for your advertisement. And it's a great way for you to support content creators. We have an affiliate relationship with Independent Reserve, an Australian cryptocurrency exchange, where if you make a trade, we receive a portion of the trading fees you'd pay them. So that's another great way to support Heise Says while helping employ people in Sydney for their crypto exchange, rather than sending it overseas. And finally, we have pocket squares that are handmade right here in our very own sweatshop, this house, that are available from the Heise Says blog. Check them out. Perfect for any Christmas party or event. They're of the Black Stein pattern that I have, and I think they actually look quite good. You need to get up real close. It's a good conversation starter. Very close if you want to see what they are. Anyway, guys, thank you all very much for joining me for this episode. Take care, and all the best to anyone who's suffered from this. Take care.